Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Wednesday, December 7th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play. I believe it's an 11-game main slate overall tonight, and then going over to DraftKings and FanDuel and talking about my core picks for tonight as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. On the DraftKings side, at the point guard position, we went with Tyler Hero. $7,200, looking for 36 points time. He got to 49.25, so he was a hit and a very excellent play overall. Then at shooting guard, we had Tim Hardaway Jr. at $4,400. Looking for 22 points time, got to 43.75, so he was another very, very good hit yesterday. Almost a 10x value there. Then a small forward, the lone miss on the DraftKings side was Josh Green, $3,200. Only ended up with 4 points. We were looking for at least 16 out of him. Looked like one of the better value plays to start off the day. Unfortunately, the high-end guys didn't really pay off, and the value dirt cheap guys really didn't pay off either yesterday. So it was kind of an interesting day. More of a balanced build, middle of the pack kind of approach. Those were the guys that paid off overall yesterday. But Josh Green only played 17 minutes and was 1 for 5 shooting from the field. So definitely not the best day for any means by him. But previous 4 games, he had played 27 minutes or more in 3 of them. So that's kind of the logic what we were going with for him yesterday. Then at power forward, we had Isaiah Stewart at $5,600, looking for 28 points down, got to 29.25, so he was a hit. And then last but not least, we had Bam Adebayo at $8,000, looking for 40 points down, got to 43.75, so he was a hit as well. So 4 out of 5 on the DraftKings side. If you had some other decent plays alongside these 5 players, you had a pretty good chance of cashing yesterday. And then on the FanDuel side, we had Luka Doncic at point guard at $11,800. Was looking for 59 points out of him. He ended up being a miss yesterday, although he got to 50 points. He had a triple-double. For most people, that's a good day, but for Luka at his price tag, kind of a down day for him overall. 5 for 17 from the field, had 5 turnovers as well. So it didn't really help him out too much on the FanDuel side overall. Then at shooting guard, we had Bruce Brown at $5,600. Was looking for 28 points down. We got to 31.7, so he was a really good hit yesterday. At small forward, we had Bojan Bogdanovic, who was $6,000. We were looking for 30 points down. Got to 48.1, so he was a very excellent hit on yesterday's slate. Then at power forward, we had Isaiah Stewart once again, $5,800 on the FanDuel side. Was looking for 29 points down. Got to 26.2. He was a mess. Not a guy that really killed us overall, though. And then last but not least, we have Bam Adebayo, $8,900 on FanDuel. So we're looking for 44 points down, got to 40. So technically, he was a mess. He did have those 5 turnovers, which does end up hurting you a little bit more on the FanDuel side overall. But still not a bad day either way. Kind of a little bit of a down day on FanDuel. But, if you had some other decent plays, Tyler Hero, Tim Hardaway Jr., you still could make up for it as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So once again, it is an 11-game main slate overall. We have 1 game starting at 7 o'clock Eastern time, and then we get into the 7:30 wave. But that lone game at 7 o'clock is the Los Angeles Clippers and the Orlando Magic. The Clippers are without Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, and John Wall tonight. They did get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard back the last time out. Both played reasonable minutes. Paul George doesn't look too great tonight with his price tags. Would be more favorable on FanDuel. Same could be said with Kawhi Leonard, but he looks okay on FanDuel if you want to go there. And then on the Orlando Magic side, we have Wendell Carter Jr., Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, Chuma Okeke, and Jalen Suggs all listed as out once again. The notable one there is Mo Bamba is not listed as out or questionable at this point in time, so assuming that he would be back tonight, whether or not he starts is kind of another question at this point in time. Then we move over to the Charlotte Hornets, who are without LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, Cody Martin, Dennis Smith Jr., and Mark Williams, so no real changes there. For the Brooklyn Nets, they were without Ben Simmons and Yuta Watanabe once again. Then we have Edmund Sumner listed as questionable, not a major factor for DFS. For the Atlanta Hawks, John Collins, Trent Forrest, and DeAndre Hunter are all out once again. AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson probably in the starting lineup. Both could be reasonable plays once again. Their price tags are slowly creeping up. And then we did see Bogdanovic come back the last couple games. Been playing about 22 minutes a game off the bench. Not really big factor for DFS, but if his minutes were to go up, it could hurt some of these other players. And then for the New York Knicks, just Ryan Arcidiacono is listed as questionable. Not really a major part of their rotation either way, though. Then for the Lakers, we have Wayne Gabriel listed as out. They are on the back-to-back, so we'll see if he's out once again today or not. Anthony Davis listed as a game-time decision, left last night's game with an illness, so we'll see if we get any news on him throughout the day. Then for the Raptors, they're without Precious Achiuwa, Juancho Hernan Gomez, and Otto Porter Jr. once again, so no real changes from the last time out. For the Detroit Pistons, they're obviously on the back-to-back, so we don't have the most up-to-date news, but right now we see Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Livers are both listed as out at this point in time. I would assume both are out once again tonight. We'll see if anybody ends up resting on the back-to-back. Then for the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, EJ Liddell, both out once again. Herb Jones listed as doubtful, and now Devontae Graham is also listed as questionable. So pretty similar to what we saw last time out. For the Washington Wizards, we have Rui Hachimura and DeLon Wright out once again, and now Bradley Beal joining them, dealing with a hamstring injury, and supposedly he's going to be out at least a week when he gets reevaluated. So it could offer up some value plays tonight with Kristaps Porzingis, Kyle Kuzma being kind of the main guys, and then maybe Denny Advia and Monty Morris playing just a little bit above their price tag overall tonight. Then for the Chicago Bulls, Lonzo Ball is out, Javonte Green is doubtful, and then we have Alex Caruso listed as questionable at this point in time. We'll see if he plays or not. Then for the Sacramento Kings, Terrence Davis listed as questionable. He's kind of been all over the place this year. He's had some good games, some bad games, been a major part of the lineup and a little part of the lineup, so not really too concerned about him from a DFS perspective. Then for the Milwaukee Bucks, Joe Ingles is still out. Then we have Serge Ibaka and Marshawn Beauchamp, both listed as questionable to play tonight. Not a major factor for either one of them, though. Moving down to the Pacers, this is going to be one that we're going to have to keep an eye out on throughout the day. Daniel Tice and Chris Duarte both remain out. Miles Turner, who missed the last time out, is listed as questionable. I would not be surprised if he ends up missing once again tonight. TJ McConnell still supposedly listed as questionable, dealing with his illness. I would expect him back tonight. James Johnson, questionable. I believe ended up missing the last game as well. And then Tyrese Halliburton, he's questionable. He's missed the past 2 games with a groin injury, so we'll see if he's back tonight or not. Obviously, if he's not, Nemhart's going to look pretty good once again. If McConnell plays, he's going to look pretty good. Buddy Hield's going to get a step up once again as well. Then for the Timberwolves, they're without Taurean Prince and Karl Anthony Towns once again, so no real major changes there. Obviously, we've seen them kind of mix and match their lineup over the last few games. We've seen Wendell Moore start some. We've seen Austin Rivers start some. Maybe you get a Kyle Anderson lineup. Just kind of depends on how they're feeling on that given night. Then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Kenrich Williams is out once again. For the Grizzlies, Desmond Bane, Danny Green are both out. Jake LaRavia is doubtful. And now Zaire Williams is actually listed as questionable to play, so we'll see if he makes his return to the lineup tonight or not. Then we move down to the Golden State Warriors, who were without Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, and Andrew Wiggins. So we'll see what their starting lineup looks like. There could be quite a bit of value opening up for this Golden State Warriors team. Hopefully Klay Thompson plays tonight since everybody else is out, but if he plays, he's going to look very good. Jordan Poole's going to look pretty good as well, and Kuminga's going to look very good if he ends up starting once again tonight as well. Then for the Utah Jazz, Mike Conley is listed as questionable. We'll see if he plays tonight or not. And then Jazang is out once again. For the Boston Celtics, we have Danilo Gallinari and Robert Williams both out once again. Malcolm Brogdon listed as a game-time decision, but expected to play. Then for the Phoenix Suns, we have Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, and Dwayne Washington. All listed as out tonight. Chris Paul and Torrey Craig are both listed as questionable. Both ended up missing the last time out, although they did have questionable tags for that game as well. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. Obviously, there's quite a few games, so there's going to be a lot that we're keeping an eye on throughout the day. As the injury news does become available, I'll leave that listed down in the comments below. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Jordan Poole. He's $6,500. So his price tag is a little up on the DraftKings side already. Not quite what you always want, especially when he's going to be in that starting lineup and playing a little bit bigger role. But you're looking for 32, 33 fantasy points. Currently, I'm projected for 35 tonight. Goes against the Utah Jazz. Should be a pretty favorable matchup for him once again. Then at shooting guard, we have Klay Thompson. $6,300. We're looking for 31, 32 fantasy points on him. He's averaging 29 on the season. Obviously, he's going to get more shot volume tonight. No Andrew Wiggins, no Steph Curry out there. Should be the best player on the team for the Warriors tonight. And he's going to look pretty good once again. Currently, I'm projected for 36 fantasy points on the DraftKings side tonight, but definitely has a ton of upside for more, as we've seen in the past. And, he even had that one monster game earlier this year as well. Then at small forward, I'm going to go with John Konchar. This was kind of like the spot that I wasn't the most comfortable with today on DraftKings. You can play a Terry Rozier, you could play a Jaylen Brown, you could play John Konchar, you could play Kyle Anderson, just to name a few. I got a couple more on my Patreon as well. But Konchar, $4,700, looking for 23, 24 points on. Got him projected for 25 tonight, playing over 30 minutes in that starting lineup. Hopefully Zaire Williams isn't back and really knocks him out for whatever reason, but that is something that could happen, but I don't think it's going to affect Konchar too much on his first game back. But if that ends up being the case, I'll list a pivot on the day as well. And then at power forward, we have Jonathan Kuminga. He is $3,400. We're only looking for 17 points. I'm currently having projected for 21 points tonight. If he's in that starting lineup, gets the minutes, he's probably going to outperform that as well. And then last but not least, we have Mitchell Robinson, $4,900. Been an E favorite of mine as of late since he's been back and he's been playing the minutes once again. Looking for 25 points down. He's averaging 22.5 on the season essentially. Goes against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Could be a little bit of a matchup against Clint Capella, but both are very good rebounders. Both get some blocks and everything else like that. Not much of offensive threat on either side, but do like both centers quite a bit tonight. And currently have him projected for 27 points tonight, but definitely has some upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $24,200 remaining, just over $8,000 per player. So you have quite a few different options out there if you want to pay up for a stud player. That's something you can do. If you want to do a little bit more balanced approach and get a lot of guys right around $8,000, that's something you can do as well. Could be some other value that does open up throughout the day and could end up changing this a little bit as well. But as of right now, a pretty good start for the DraftKings side. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So once again, we have point guard Jordan Poole. He's $5,900 on FanDuel, so a little bit cheaper. Looking for 30 points down. Currently, I'm projected for about 34 fantasy points on the FanDuel side tonight. Definitely has some upside for more. Goes against the Utah Jazz, a favorable matchup, as I did mention on the DraftKings side as well. Then at shooting guard, we have Klay Thompson once again, $6,200, looking for 31 fantasy points down. Currently, I'm projected for 35 tonight. No Steph Curry, no Andrew Wiggins. Should be some extra shot volume there and some extra usage for Klay Thompson once again tonight. Then we move down to small forward. I got AJ Griffin here. He is $4,600. Looking for 23 points down. Currently, I'm projected for 26. Probably in that starting lineup. Probably playing 30 minutes once again for the Hawks tonight. Been a very good young player so far. Definitely don't have a problem going back to him once again tonight. His price tag is just a little too cheap at this point in time. If you wanted to go to Jonathan Kuminga here, you could also do that as well. Heck, you can play AJ Griffin and Jonathan Kuminga together as well. Then at power forward, we have Bojan Bogdanovic once again. He's $300 cheaper than yesterday, $5,700. We're looking for, 29 points down, essentially what he's averaging on the season. Pelicans matchup doesn't really scare me by any means, so do like him once again. He had a very, very strong game yesterday. He's been very good since Cade Cunningham's been out. A couple down games here and there, but do like him quite a bit once again tonight. Currently, I'm projected for 31 points, but definitely has some upside for more as well. And then last but not least, we're going to center Clint Capella, $6,200. Looking for 31 points down. He's averaging 32.5 so far in the season. He goes against the New York Knicks, a matchup versus Mitchell Robinson. I like both these guys tonight. They're very similar players. They block some shots. They get some rebounds. They're not too crazy on the offensive end, but they could get some putbacks and stuff like that. Do expect both them to have reasonable games tonight, and I do like them at their respective price tags on their respective sites. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $31,400 remaining, just over $7,800 per player. So definitely a lot of different ways that you could mix and match on the FanDuel side tonight as well. But once again, be sure to look out for some of the values that could open up throughout the day as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, December 7th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks that I did mention, whether it's a completely different player. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say. And then as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day, trying to get to as many starting lineups as I can tonight as well. We'll have an updated core probably about 20 or 30 minutes prior to lock. Unfortunately, didn't have one yesterday, but wasn't really any changes that I did see by the time we got to lock either way though. But with that being said, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at CoachCraigSports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now it's NBA and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who is yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS Core Pick videos Monday through Friday, just like this. And then I'll be getting back to the NFL DFS Core Pick Week 14 video. It's been a little while for NFL DFS, been slacking in that regard, but I will have my cheat sheets up once again over at WeBetATS.com. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.